Hey everyone, and welcome back to Practically Zero Waste, a podcast for making zero waste living as practical as possible. If you're new to the podcast, welcome, and if you've been with us from the beginning, welcome back. My name is Elizabeth Callahan, and I'm so glad to have you here. If you'd like to receive episodes as soon as they come out, hit that subscribe button in the Apple Podcasts app or wherever you get your podcasts. There's a new episode every Sunday. If you'd like to support the podcast, you can head to anchor.fm/practicallyzerowaste and hit the support button. And if you'd like to ask us a question or suggest a topic for the show, you can email us at practicallyzerowaste@gmail.com. Cutting our hair is often an overlooked part of going zero waste, but today's conversation with the owners of Revive Hair Lounge in Peterborough make it easy. Today I learned about Green Circle Salons, recycling hair, and how to reduce chemicals and packaging in whatever your beauty routine is. Don't have a beauty routine? Me neither, but let's get real. Composting your hair is pretty cool.
Well, I'm Kerry McMaster, and this is...
I'm Stephen Stamp.
Nice to meet you both.
You too.
I guess Revive started 4 years ago.
Okay.
It's almost on its third birthday, but...
3 years.
Well, yeah, but a year of prepping, right? We had a year of sort of designing and making it a reality, you know.
Yeah, that would take so much time to start a business.
Finding space, getting everything set and ready to go.
So tell me a little bit about your eco-friendly mindset and what is driving Revive.
My background is I'm a hairdresser for 16 years, and I had a background with Redken, and they're a big company, right? And I went to this thing, a class in Toronto, and they had this recycling program. And I thought, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
Sorry. So I was curious about that. And I always thought, I'm totally going to implement that when I, if I ever have a business or whatever, that kind of a thing. So it's a company that was started in Toronto called Green Circle Salons. And what they do is they started out just collecting hair, and they would make booms to
clean up oil spills.
Oh,
yeah.
that's
And they also make emergency pillows.
Yeah, they moved into making
for
emergency
shelters.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, that's so cool.
So like when there was the big fires in Fort McMurray and everyone got evacuated to shelters, they had a bunch of pillows made with hair.
Yeah, super
oh
cool.
gosh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then they moved on to recycling foil. So for instance, if you get a highlight with the aluminum foil or anything aluminum, they recycle. It goes through a washing system. The chemicals are removed, the foil is recycled. The chemicals are pulled out of the water and used as energy. I'm not really sure how they do that.
Okay.
And then the water's released. And then they dispose of waste, like if you have extra color, they dispose of that in a safe way without putting it into the ground.
Okay.
It's interesting that they also source out provincially. So Ryan, oh my God, I forgot his name, the guy from Green Circles. But he was saying that, because I wanted to do waxing, and he said, well, we don't have anyone in this province to recycle that.
Oh, okay. So
But
they're finding...
other provinces, they find people, right? So I thought that was really cool. And their mission is to be global. It's not about, we did a partnership. We tried to encourage other salons to do it and stuff.
Wow, that's great.
I think Nova Scotia's the biggest one. They have the most Green Circle salons right now. So
And the nice thing about Green Circle is we didn't have to find a source to deal with our hair. They do all that.
Oh,
so we just partner with them, and and we have bins that we send it to them.
That's so great that you were able to find a company that is totally able to take care of you as a smaller business, right?
Yeah, it's amazing how much waste there is in hair. You don't realize it. It's.
I used to go pick Kerry up after work, and we didn't really think of it till after, because you use whatever the norm that you see is.
Yeah,
you just think that's what it is.
exactly.
I would pick her up from work, and she would be like, "Oh, I just have to take the garbage out," and it would be one day. And she would have sometimes 2 big full garbage bags.
Yeah.
And we
just hair.
Well, hair and all kinds of whatever, everything.
Yeah.
Everything we used.
Chuck it in,
Yeah.
And everything was thrown out.
ugh.
And we just thought, wow, when we were starting this, we thought, that's a lot of garbage for every salon. So then we started, and I don't know where it all came from, because we have usually a bag or two, like a little grocery bag a
so
week.
small.
For your business.
Yeah, that's what we usually put out, is a bag or two.
Oh, that's so amazing.
Yeah, and the funny thing actually is, we're trying to address that. Kerry really wants to get this, because a lot of it is containers of the customers bring in. That, they brought food or
recycling
whatever.
Yeah,
so
we
want to reduce that as well.
Yeah, I mean, you're right next to a Tim Hortons, so I'm sure people are just coming in on a regular basis.
That's why one of the things we do, we offered you a coffee. Kerry's got one. We brew coffee for our customers, and we have reusable pods
You use a reusable pod in your Keurig.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It just keeps going.
I think
cool.
I'd even, we just came back from Prague. We were in Prague, which is a beautiful
that's
little
lovely.
place. And they're so clean and it's quite green there. And I really liked their way they made their coffees was espresso style, right? And I thought, that would be a great way to diminish plastic, right? Because I'm using plastic pods, so I'm looking into that.
I didn't even know that.
Oh, sorry.
I had to learn it sometime.
Surprise announcement on the podcast. That's
But again,
great, yeah.
I mean, we do, obviously, when we make them, we have mugs here. And we have glasses here for water that we offer in tea and stuff. So we always offer the customers that, and then we can just wash them. And we use, we get eco-friendly dishwasher liquid.
And some of our tea we get from Willow's Bark down on Charlotte,
Okay.
Ritual Apothecary.
They have loose leaf there, right?
They have loose leaf, and she also ties up her little bag.
Yeah.
They're so
fabulous. They're really good.
Them. Everyone loves them.
That's awesome. Okay,
And she's great because she
got
put,
so
you get her
much.
tea in glass jars.
Yeah, and you just go and refill.
You just go back and she just fills it up.
Yeah, which I have to do this week.
Right.
Yeah.
You guys are so awesome. You're so excited about the different aspects of reducing your waste. That's wonderful because for a lot of people, they need a reason. They need a motivator because like if it's saving money or if it's doing something good for the planet or if it's being healthier and putting less chemicals on their skin or whatever it is or eating healthier food, all of these reasons are good reasons to reduce your waste and reduce your carbon footprint, your trash output.
Yeah.
But like you guys have got everything going on. This is so
Well,
good.
I don't say everything. I think we still have things to work on.
Obviously,
but we try not to worry about what we're not doing yet and just
Awesome.
find ways to address that. Because I've seen, there have been posts lately I find that are a lot of people saying we don't need a few people doing everything perfectly. We need millions of people doing some things, what they can do. And a friend of ours shared a post on Facebook the other day. It was beautiful, saying, hey, if you are aware of this but you don't know anything about that, thank you. If you recycle but you don't do this, thank you. Because don't feel bad about the stuff you're not doing.
Yeah.
Focus on the things you're doing and then try to address the other things.
Yeah, do
so
them well.
there are still things that we're certainly not perfect at. And I mean, we want to try and get better at all of it, but just trying to do as many things as we can.
That's wonderful. And that buzz of excitement is going to keep you going and trying new things. And now you're talking about the coffee and you're going to explore that avenues. And it's just so cool to take these baby steps each time and build on them. So as far as the business goes, like what is the process of setting up a business and sourcing all the things? And I don't know anything about
How long is the podcast?
It's about 45 minutes.
Okay.
So, yeah.
We might squeeze it in.
Well, this obviously started with an idea, which actually evolved over the several months that we did our business plan. When I first began, I used the products I knew. I used Redken products. And I had some, greener products, and I recycled, right? And shortly into it, I'm like, I want to be holistic. I want to take this further, right? So then we sourced out this company from Italy, which ended up being a real eye-opener. Unfortunately, we spent a good couple of years, a year and a half building that line, which was supposed to be fully organic and all the stuff. And I actually started to get very sick. I had wounds on my legs and my arms, and
oh my gosh,
I guess my liver wasn't
I'm
right. But it was this. I went and got an allergy test, in my business. They tested. I'm highly allergic to this thing called methyliosine, which is a preservative used in many household products, many shampoos,
goodness.
many
And it was
facial
in this...
products. It was in everything.
So
They disclosed it, which was great. It was on the bottles, but I mean, it was banned in Europe a year ago, right?
Oh my god!
And they have this, so we're like, I can't use this, right? So we found this wonderful guy, Jerry from Define Beauty Systems, and he's quite green, and he has this great products. And then I went online, I looked up each ingredient, and I was like looking at things and finding out preservatives, and I was calling companies, and I was like, and we just went through this huge change and switched all our products.
Good for you. That's huge.
Carrie's done an amazing amount of work to make it all happen. And it stemmed from her getting sick partly, but her whole ethos coming into this was, I want everything to be the best possible for the customers, but also for the stylists. I mean, we employ stylists, and
it could be a toxic job.
Exactly, yeah.
Well, when you think if you get your hair done, you're in there every 4 weeks or 6 weeks, whatever, getting your hair done. But the stylists are doing it several times a day.
Yeah.
So it's really important for the health of Kerry and the people that work for
Oh,
us.
good for you for thinking of those things too.
Yeah,
So,
so-
what does Green Circle Salons, how do they support you beyond just picking up waste? Is there
That's
anything-
pretty
That's
much
about
it.
it,
They do
yeah.
that. All the other stuff is Kerry.
Yeah.
Basically figuring that out and then finding the other element, of course, we've mentioned I think a bit is local sourcing.
okay.
Working with Nadine and working with
Aaron.
Sweet Song,
Aaron
Aaron
from
Wood from Sweet Song, and people who
And they grow their plants in their freaking
yeah.
yard.
We actually went and did a video in Erin's garden. She's like, well, this is what we use for this product, and this is what we use for this.
So she's creating natural products locally?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What's the
And
name?
It's
her
called
name
Sweet Song.
Sweet Song.
And she's in
She's at
Watson
Watson
and
and
Lou.
Lou now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
great.
and Nadine has Ritual Apothecary, which is
Okay.
just over on
Charlotte,
yeah, which is right where the market is. She's
Yeah.
on the block of the market.
Oh,
Very
So it's
neat.
great.
And so they don't use preservatives,
Mm.
right? And everything, our shampoos and other companies use food grade, So
Okay.
Yeah.
everything
I
will
think
go
one-
off.
Yeah, and one thing that's interesting, like you're asking about the motivation and why people should do it. And one thing that really stands out to me, like with Green Circle and with a lot of the other things, is people won't do things if it's difficult or if it's a challenge,
Yes.
if it's more
Yeah.
effort.
Yeah.
Realistically, and we're the same. Like there's an
Oh,
inherent
yeah.
nature to be like want to do the easiest thing, but it's actually really easy. Like it's no harder to throw something in the recycling than in the garbage. It's no harder to throw the hair in the Green Circle bin
Yeah.
than in the garbage.
Yeah.
It's all, and there's very little. The only extra, washing out coffee pods.
Yeah,
is-
it can be annoying.
It's
But
good for
whatever.
me.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
that is so good to hear that there is an ease to your transition to doing
Yeah.
things eco-friendly because like you said, if it's not practical, if it's not like that's the point of this podcast is to try and expose things that are actually really practical about this different kind of lifestyle. And so if it's not easy, then people don't necessarily want to do it.
Everyone thinks about recycling, and that's obviously Green Circle is about recycling, but they're actually reusing as well. It's not just recycling,
Yeah.
but I always try and remember and share like it's reduce, reuse, recycle. Recycle's the third one.
Yes.
So we're trying to reduce as much
That's
as we
what
can.
I want to really do
Yeah,
this
and
year.
then the reuse, the repurposing. Reducing Kerry's big thing is because we do get all the mugs, and even like our staff we'll see mugs that are going to recycling and stuff. And so she's had this idea, and hopefully they won't hear this before it happens.
I know.
But she
I'm
wants to
gonna buy
get
them,
them. She's going to buy the
I keep
mugs
doing that.
so that we
That's
can, so they have a reusable mug here. It's
Yeah.
like, here, just use this. I mean, we have our cups, but it's like, here, use this. Take it to Tim Hortons. Take it to wherever you
Yes.
get your coffee.
Yeah, that's
You
really
know,
great.
so just
Oh, that's
little
nice
steps.
to encourage this lifestyle for your staff too. Because when you're looking at your garbage output and it's already so minimal, you can very easily see the individual things that are in your garbage can. It's not like a huge bin that you just like, well, there's lots of stuff in there. If you're like, well, there's 2 Tim Hortons cups and 2 wrappers from sandwiches and
Why are
like,
they not in the bin?
yeah, why are they not, recycled or in the right receptacle or skipped altogether? So I think when you said reduce, reuse, recycle,
Yeah.
I would almost want to, when you're offering somebody 2 choices and you kind of want them to choose one over the
Yes.
other, you'd be like, do you want a banana or do you want an apple? Like you would set it up in a certain way, right? And so
Yeah.
when you're saying reduce, reuse, recycle, the last thing that they hear is the thing that they remember the most, I
Huh.
think.
Oh, isn't
I
that
think.
interesting?
I don't know if that's
Could be, yeah.
a thing, but like what I find is, you're right, the emphasis is on recycling.
Reduce is the first thing you should do.
Yeah.
And then you go to reuse or repurpose, and
Totally.
then you go to recycle.
Yeah, so the order is important, but people are forgetting about the first 2. So, anyway, that's just something that important to emphasize all of those steps because they are happening in a certain order for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about the product.
Yeah.
What kind of dyes do you use? What kinds of shampoos and stuff? Like any
Yeah.
brands that you really like to celebrate?
Well, our color line, we use La Biostique. It's
La biostatique.
La Biostique.
They're
French.
Fancy, wow.
They're a smaller European company.
Okay.
And they still hand batch their products. If something hasn't been tested on a human for 50 years, they don't put it in.
Wow.
So they're very concerned about what's going on in our bodies and,
Great.
and how they process it and how they make, what they do with their wastes and stuff. So I'm very happy with their products. They're very gentle. They have like aloe vera, Japanese
Oh,
yarrow
lovely,
roots,
yeah.
and things that are very soothing to the skin. Reduced chemicals.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, color does have chemical. Unfortunately, if you're choosing to color, you will be exposed to some chemical.
Yeah.
But it is the least amount that you need. And our shampoos that we carry, we have three lines. So we carry Oneka from Montreal.
Lovely.
They're great, and
They're so good.
their whole word means water, right? So everything in their shampoo is not going to harm anything as it goes.
Yeah, I think on their bottles it says you can shower in your home or in a raging river and it'll be fine for the planet no matter what. I do like
cool.
that.
And then we use John Masters.
Okay.
He started the very first clean air salon in New York, I believe, like 25 years ago.
Wow.
And he doesn't even color. Like, he won't use chemicals at all. Like,
Wow.
he's his products I really like. They're full of essential oils, so you get all that fun smelling and good quality. And then we have a little boutique company from where I'm from, Victoria, BC, called Barber and Fritz. And Isla, the owner, I had the pleasure of chatting with prior to, like, I really wanted her stuff in the beginning, but I wasn't ready to take on the full line. She was a hairdresser for 20 years. And then started this company 10 years ago, and she basically hand batches these products. There's several of them. They're all interworkable, which is amazing for a stylist. Like, you want products that work, that you can mix together. What I love about her stuff is that when I spoke with her about preservatives, she was so caring, and she was like, she uses food grade. And she's always looking for better quality products.
Wow, that's great.
And always aware of it. So she might not advertise that. And she also doesn't like do this spring thing or the next fall look. Like, she's just like, these are my products.
Right.
you know, they work and that's it. Her packaging is beautiful too.
Yeah, it is really beautiful. Is it plastic or?
Some are, most are glass. There are some that are plastic.
We also have cosmetics.
Oh yeah.
Which
yes.
I
love
just
that.
learning about, mostly. But Elate Cosmetics.
Oh, they're such
Do you know
a good
them?
brand.
They're
I've just
so
heard about them because Hello Baby carries them as well.
Oh,
but
nice.
they seem super good.
They look nice, I guess. I'm not a big makeup guy. I don't really, whatever. But
Go
but
on.
they have the containers are made of bamboo,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
And so you just for the blush or whatever it rotates open, and you put the little disc in, and then when you're done with it, you take that out and you put another disc in.
And the
container.
discs are metal,
So
aren't they?
The discs are metal,
Yeah.
So they can be recycled, and so it's all
And
in the mascaras.
And the refillable,
Yeah.
like, say you run out of your blush, you buy a refill. She has it in a paper sachet that you can grow flowers from.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
there is
So
no
little
waste.
bits of seed paper is what it's shipped in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
And the other thing I'm learning too, because I was like, well, the lipsticks, I just found out, I'm so excited, the lipsticks and the mascaras can be recycled. You can break open the bamboo, remove the metal aluminum tin, rinse it out, and recycle it.
Cool.
And the mascaras, which is our what we'll be doing soon, is basically if you break open the bamboo, you take out the glass tube, so you clean that out, rinse out the mascara one, you can actually ship it to a wildlife sanctuary. There's a number they've offered. And they use it to remove nits and things on the animals.
For cleaning animals.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So we're going to start a little box, like, to bring in your mascara wands.
Yeah, so drop off your wands.
But isn't that great to know that you're not, like, everything she makes is, you can break down.
Yeah, and I love that you want to become almost a hub in the community for eco-friendly action. Like, if people have mascara wands that they can clean off and bring them in, like, you guys are the place that you can drop them off. Or I don't know if Elate Cosmetics or other brands that you have accept containers back, but if they did, then maybe people could bring back their product containers to you, and then you are in touch with the supplier and stuff. I don't know
I'd be happy.
how that works.
Yeah, we haven't really been doing that, but we haven't actually been carrying Elate that long, so I don't think people have used up most of the stuff.
That's true.
So we're
Makeup does
getting to
last
that
a long
point.
time.
That's one of the next things. But that's an idea that we haven't actually done yet. But
That's cool.
I mean, you collect people's compost, we'll collect people's
Mascara wands.
mascara wands.
We do refill.
We do. That's one of the nice things with Oneka.
I was gonna ask,
We just get the large containers, and people come back in. We give them 10% off if they refill. We actually just refilled our shower gel containers this morning because we were out.
Yeah.
Did we do that already?
I don't know. You took them downstairs. You said you were going to.
Plans to.
We either did or are about to refill our shower gel containers.
Yeah.
And it's great because you're not using them. And those are the Oneka ones are plastic containers.
They're plastic bottles. Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't think you really want glass bottles in your shower very much.
Well,
No, I
Is it
wonder if you
okay?
can have a glass bottle with like a pump or something so you're not picking it up with
Right.
slippery hands or
Yeah.
something.
Right.
But I don't know. I think what they do is they use the plastic like everyone else to keep costs down, but then yes, they are so on top of sending out their, what is it, like
Yeah.
4 liter,
big-
sorry,
yeah,
4 liter jugs that people can send back for refill. Like it's such
Yeah.
a wonderful
I should tell you
company.
a story about the company. They're so cute. Okay, so we first got their order in, and we got little minis, and we had them for Earth Day, and we were giving them out and stuff like that. And they sent us another order, and I think it must have been around Thanksgiving. And inside was a beautiful card and a satchel of sage from their garden.
Oh,
I'm like, hello, this is so nice, right?
lovely.
Like,
They're a very nice company.
and that's another thing I love about all the companies. And
Yeah.
there's one we haven't talked about was Simply Natural Canada. Sherry, she's a local Peterborough
she's local
one.
too.
And she has her stuff here, and she's wonderful products as well. But they all they're people that reach out to me.
Yeah.
They take time to talk to me. They say hello. If I'm haven't ordered in a while, that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Whereas other companies sometimes can be like,
Yeah.
they just don't even.
They're kind of neglected,
Yeah,
right? Because they've got
like-
so many people, but
Yeah,
like
they're
local, smaller businesses
Yeah,
are
no,
really
they're
attentive
great.
to their customers. Eh? That's
Yeah.
great. So your clients that come in, are they coming in because they want an eco-friendly experience?
It's a
Coming in-
mix.
Yeah,
It's a mix. We
Yeah,
have people
of
who don't
course.
even realize that we're an environmental salon. They just
That's
carry
awesome
And then we
too.
open
Yeah,
our eyes
like,
about
Kerry's
it, right?
just honestly, Kerry's a fantastic stylist. Some people just come in because they've heard, that Kerry's really good, or our other stylists, Brandy and Kristen are great. So they come in and then they learn about it.
Yeah.
But there are people who. We've had some people where we say, hey, how'd you find out about us? And they said, I did a Google search for environmental salons in the area.
That's
and you came
great.
up. And we do work with Random Acts of Green,
Oh,
just
yes.
in Korea.
Yes.
So we have people who come in and say, I found you through Random Acts. So,
Wonderful.
yeah,
That's great.
so it's a real mix.
Yeah, you get neighborhood people, and
Yeah.
you definitely get people who are sourcing out greener products. Or I get the people with really sensitive skin,
Right.
or they
Yeah.
use henna, or just the other day we had 2 patch tests in one day. From people who had severe reactions.
Oh,
to
wow.
We have a couple of
chemicals.
clients who always come at the very opening, very beginning of the day.
Right, for the
because they're sensitive to smells, and I'm super sensitive to smells. So I
How
totally
do you
get
work
that.
in a hair salon?
So the smells here are fine. They're
Yeah,
not-
because they're
Yeah.
less toxic, right?
Exactly.
you're-
I can't handle the artificial fragrance. Nothing has
Yeah.
artificial fragrance.
some of them are a bit stronger. So some of the the licorice smells.
Yeah,
or the-
some of that, the
Yeah.
anise and everything.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's pretty clean in here.
Mhm.
Yeah,
you don't
I don't
smell-
smell anything right now.
You don't
Like I know
even
you've been
smell
closed
the whitener, right?
this
The
morning,
colors, the stuff we have, it's all very gentle.
Yeah. Some places you walk into and it's like you hit a wall and
Yeah.
it's so overpowering.
Yeah,
But
and sometimes there is a bit of an ammonia smell with some of the
Right.
color, because it's interesting. That's another thing that Kerry looked into. She found some colors that didn't have ammonia.
Oh,
And we're
wow.
like, oh wow, that sounds so great. Everyone thinks, oh, no ammonia, fantastic. And then you find out ammonia is a natural substance.
Yeah.
It just
and
smells really
if you
strong,
don't,
right?
and if you don't have the ammonia, they have to use something else, which is a chemical derivative of ammonia.
So basically,
So-
MEA is commonly used, and that's
Oh.
the baby of ammonia and ethanol.
Oh, okay.
And it turns slightly more liquid, and you can't smell it, but you still have the ammonia. You actually have to use twice as much
Of
to
this other
open
stuff,
the hair
yeah.
to allow the color to go in, because that's why you use those products, is to actually swell the hair and allow the color to go in. So it's an
Oh.
alkalizer.
Okay.
And so basically MEA you have to use twice as much, plus you also have to wash twice after you do it, because it does stay on the hair and the skin.
Huh.
So that's another reason I went with La Biostique, because they use ammonia, but they use a grade of it that's so small, just enough to open the hair. You can't
Yeah.
smell it. And they make their pigments smaller so they don't have to drive in so hard. So very sensible, right? So you're not
Yeah.
getting as much chemicals
And super sciencey.
yeah, and then the MEA is like, well, they don't know what it's going to do to humans
Yeah.
yet. So that's another reason I sort of veered away from the
for
non-ammonia.
you.
So even though, it's all these heartbreaking things I found out through personal experiences. I'm like, oh,
Aw.
geez, like it's supposed to be green, it's supposed to be this. What the hell's going on?
Yeah.
That's one of the things we really learned. Is Kerry mentioned this morning when we were preparing. She said, we've really learned about greenwashing.
Yes.
That people are like,
Oh.
oh, this and that, and then you do more research and you find out further,
Oh
and you're
my
like, oh
God.
wow.
you go looking like I was at Cosmoprof. I'm like, oh great, a new organic line, and you go look, it's full of like.
And you've
so
done
many
the research, so that's wonderful too. Is that you've done the research, so your clients don't have to. You're the one who has gone through and figured out, researched every single one of the ingredients on a product, and figured out if it's actually good for the planet, good for your body, instead of having to be like, oh, it's got a green leaf on the packaging, and the packaging is, paper brown. You're just like,
Yeah.
It must be.
it must be good. Yeah.
Carrie's done so much work. I mean, she likes to share the credit for the salon, and I've contributed. I've done a fair bit for the salon, but she has done all the work on all the products.
That's
and
amazing.
She's just made it a wonderful
I did get
place.
to pick all the products.
What was the award that you guys got?
Oh yeah.
So it's
Brag about that
Sustainable
for a bit.
Peterborough
Okay.
does annual awards in various categories.
Yeah.
And we actually, I can't remember how we met up with the Sustainable Peterborough
I'm not
folks.
sure either.
But
I think it was
They found you.
Yeah.
maybe.
So
So then we
maybe.
just put in the application, and at the very last minute, I forgot until like the afternoon it was due. So I put together the application and the nomination, and we won a Sustainable Peterborough Award in the waste category for
Cool.
reduction of the waste that's going to the landfills, and it was really cool. It was amazing because we got to see all these other initiatives, what everyone in the community is
Yeah.
doing, and the other
Right.
water. There's about 6 or 8 different categories.
something like that.
Design. I mean, the street that's been turned into the unused street that's being turned into a garden,
Oh, right.
right downtown. They won.
Oh, yeah. Depave project.
Pave project. Yes,
Yeah.
they won something.
Cool.
So all these different and you're learning about all this stuff, and it's like, holy cow! It's things that you'd heard a bit about,
Yeah.
but got more information on. And it's funny because we were waste. They go alphabetically, so waste was the last or second last award, and we felt pretty good about what we do. And then we hear all these things, we're like, wow, we do this tiny little thing, but it's. No, that's, I guess, the point. Everyone do
Absolutely.
your bit.
Everybody
Yeah.
contributes something rather than nothing at all
Yeah.
because, I can't do much, so I might as well do nothing. Well, that's the wrong mindset.
Yeah,
so,
for
yeah.
One fun thing, our the awards were birdhouses.
That's awesome. So people could actually use it instead of having just a big chunk of plastic as their award.
Yes.
That's, very
Yeah.
wise that a
Yes.
eco-friendly thing did not
Yeah,
have.
it was great.
Do you ever get people asking to take their hair home to compost it?
So we had there's a
love
friend of
that.
ours from the community who's a Travis Savart. He's a farmer,
Yeah.
and he asked Kerry. He said, "Hey, what do you do with your hair?" And we said, "Well, we recycle it." It goes here, and he says, "Could I get some for composting?" And we didn't even
Yeah,
realize
I
it was
didn't realize you could
compostable,
do that
right?
with hair.
Yeah.
We just thought,
Yeah.
well, I never even thought of hair as a waste really until I found out about green circles.
We don't actually really know how you compost it or what
Yeah.
you do with
So,
it. So,
yeah.
but yeah, if you want some hair,
I
we have a bin
did
right
some
there.
I did some research, and so I wanted to know how long it takes to
Right.
decompose, because obviously humans are biodegradable. You
Yes.
can be composted when you die. There's a
Yeah.
thing in the States that's a big initiative
And
for
you
it.
put the tree on top.
Yeah, so it's kind of like freaky and morbid to think of yourself being composted. Anyway, that aside,
It's cool.
you can compost at home. You can compost your own hair. You can compost fingernails. You can like all kinds of stuff like that, like
Organic.
your own personal body organic matter, which makes some people cringe, but I'm just kind of like, don't put your nail clippings in the garbage can. That can biodegrade. Put it in the compost.
I literally clipped my toenails yesterday
Yeah.
and put them in the garbage because I didn't know.
No, we didn't.
So now we know.
I've been like from the West Coast. They have like everywhere you go, it's just common to compost. Like they have
Yeah.
a compost bin that goes out every week.
Yeah.
You have the little they're like brown things you can put your compost in, and then
Yeah.
you throw it in the bin. Like it's so when I came here and
Nobody
doesn't
does
do
it,
that,
yeah.
and like I don't even, to be honest, because I'm so spoilt that it was right there for me.
Yeah.
I don't really know the process of.
All the ins and outs.
Yeah, I know the ins and outs
Yeah.
to make it happen.
Okay,
So.
well
But
there you go.
there's work happening, right, to
I'm
make it
working on it.
happen in the city, not just us. Like,
Yes,
isn't
Dan.
the,
Oh
the
yeah,
council, Dan Terry,
Peterborough has been working on it for a little while. They were so close, and then some funding got pulled for just to fund all the trucks and the employees, and reworking the site that everything's going to go to and
Yeah.
stuff. There's a lot that has to go into it. I've ranted a lot about it on the
Yeah.
podcast, but yeah, eventually I think that is the direction that Peterborough's going in. But
that would be great.
so many people have a backyard or a bit of green space in Peterborough that we don't need to wait for people to have municipal
Just create a
compost
bin.
pickup. Just start doing it. $30 if you buy a composter from the city, and you can get information from Peterborough Green Up on how to set it up, and then you just start doing it. And hair is a great source for your compost, because you need to have a mix of nitrogen and carbon in your compost. You have lots and lots of carbon, which is your food waste, and then you have nitrogen, which comes from things like grass clippings, browns and stuff like leaves, but also hair is one of them. Can't have too much, because if it clumps, then it can rot weirdly. But if it's like loosely spread out, if you just empty your hairbrush and put it in your composter, then it's really good for your plants. Yeah. Anyway, so that's just a fun fact for us all.
That is a fun fact. I still feel like remember we talked earlier about if it's easy, more people will do it, and it's way easier if the city's collecting it and you just put it out and they take it and somebody deals with it, than if you have to have the composter and turn it and use it.
My frustration with it is, because I've tried to save some of the stuff, is the mildew. But Stephen was saying to me that you suggested putting it in the freezer.
Yes. So if you are participating through Share Waste, or bringing your compost to somebody else or somewhere else, you can put it all in a big container, like with a snap lid and everything, and store it in your freezer. And that actually helps the compost to break down. When you take like frozen berries out, they're not as perfect as they were when they went in. It's because some of the properties of the berries are breaking down already, and moisture is being lost and everything like that. So it's actually really good to like speed up the process for composting if you freeze it.
It's a kickstart.
It's a kickstart. Yeah. So go ahead and freeze it all week and then drop it off at my house.
Sounds like a plan.
Do you have any other tips for people how to go eco-friendly with?
I think exposing yourself to, researching and looking at products, and maybe even coming to talk to us about the products and make small changes. Like if you need a new mascara, try one of ours, or if you need a new conditioner, maybe look into that, and just slowly start to transition.
As things run out, right? Like you can buy a new product as things disappear.
And ask questions. That's the big thing we have, because we try to spread the word. We refill Oneka bottles, but there are people who just like it and get it, and then they say, like, people will say, "Hey, is there any way I could refill this?" We're like, "Yeah, we got the pumps downstairs."
That's awesome.
Let's just go and do it. It takes about a minute and a half.
Yeah.
So
that's great.
But asking questions, you find a lot of stuff out, right?
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Is there anybody that's inspiring you guys lately, either online or companies or brands or influencers?
Honestly, all the people we've talked about. Aaron and Nadine and Sherry, the local producers we work with.
And I'm curious about there's a company down near Praxair. It's a essential oil place called, I forgot the name. Anyway, it's a lovely place, and their essential oils are local.
Yeah.
I'm curious about them.
They're good for so many things. We put a little essential oil in your dryer balls. So you're not using fabric sheets.
It smells
sheets,
so
right?
nice.
It smells so nice, but it's a gentle smell. There are lots of things where the actual thing I'm fine with, but when it's processed into something in a fragrance, it makes me sick.
Yeah.
So
I've been using their almond oil and jojoba oil just to moisturize, right?
Yeah.
Because when I was very sensitive to anything, even good things.
And even if you're working all day and washing your hands constantly, and you must get really dry skin. So
I would say your podcast too. I hadn't heard about
thanks.
It. It was just
no, it's true.
like that episode you did on the.
Here's your $10. No.
What was the one?
That wasn't actually $10. She just slid her hand across the table.
We listened to about reducing plastic, and it's like crazy when you think about how to minimize that in your life, and you look at everything you buy, and you're like, but it's so worth it. It's it's hard, but it's good.
What a difference it makes, eh? So where can people find you online or in Peterborough? What's your address?
We're at 73 Hunter Street East in East City, right beside Sullivan's Pharmacy, and it's just revivehairlounge.com.
Yeah.
And great. You can book online, but just come by or give us a call. Yeah, we'd be happy to answer questions and do your hair.
Oh, thank you so much. This has been really wonderful. Thank you.
Thanks again for listening, everyone. If you want to learn more about any of our company's brands and products that we chatted about today, I'll stick them in the show notes for future reference. Kerry and Stephen are such a great resource for eco-friendly products, so if you'd like to learn more from them, you can follow them on Instagram at Revive Hair Lounge or check out their website, revivehairlounge.com. Thanks again to everyone who participated in our giveaway. Winner will be announced this week on our social media, so head over to @PracticallyZeroWastePod on Instagram and Facebook to see the results. Enjoy looking for ways to reduce waste when it comes to hair care, maybe refilling your shampoo or adding some nitrogen-rich hair to your compost bin. Every little bit helps to keep unnecessary junk out of our landfills. Have a good week, everyone, and talk to you soon.